the movement going on, and it seems that it is moving with a curvilinear motion or in a cylindrical coordinate or in a three-dimensional way anyways. Okay, so we have seen that for a position we can say that position is rt, and position change r from r prime, that is delta r. If it is respect to time, that will be our velocity. If it is very small, limit tends to 0, we can say dr by dt, but here r is a vector. Okay, so do you know that how we can write this r? Because here you see r is a I mean bold letter, right?
Yes, sir.
Right or wrong?
Yes, sir. Bold letter.
This one is bold. So how can we write while we will be writing in the script or somewhere else? Do you remember? In mathematics, we write this thing like that as a vector. So if you put this sign top on any character, we will consider that it is a vector.
Vector quantity.
Yes, a vector quantity. Okay, that is the technique. Then
That's mean here bold,
acceleration.
sir, bold represent vector quantity.
Voltage is also a vector quantity.
Okay, sir.
That is why V is also bold. Okay, but the only the magnitude is not. You see, magnitude is not bold. Magnitude is about S. Only position changes, not direction. In direction is not there. So it becomes the speed. No, not vector, because speed is the quantity of the vector velocity, right? Speed is a scalar. So that is
Scalar
why this
quantity.
is a scalar. Yeah, this is the vector. Acceleration is also vector. Okay, so in a curvilinear motion, we have a rectangular coordinate systems, rectangular components. Okay, what does it mean? We have three-dimensional position. So R is xi plus yj plus zk, where the particle at a point of xyz in a xyz coordinate. Okay, like x, y, z. X is the x, y, and z. So in these three, we call rectangular coordinate. Rectangular components. Actually, rectangular components are this, and curvilinear motion in 3 dimension. Okay, so we know that we can express something in xyz coordinates. Okay, not a new thing for you, I guess. So R, the position we are talking about, that can be written like this. Okay, xi plus yj plus zk. Then the itself, the x can be a variation function of t, y can vary as a function of t, and z can vary also as function of t. That is the total r equals r t. And the magnitude of r is, we know it before, right? As it is a rectangular coordinate system, it is like root or square root of summation of all the squares of the coordinates position. Okay, and the direction is, if it is u r by r. So the thing is that if you divide this r with this r, then you get the direction only, the I, j, and k. I, j, and k, because we have already divided with the r. So what you get actually, unit of I, unit of j, unit of k. Those things you have already seen in HSC or SSC. sure. But anyway, you have seen, right? These things, I guess. So the first time derivative of r will be our velocity, because r is the position. If you remember, r is the position. So if
Yes,
you
sir.
derive it with time, it will be velocity. So d by dt xi, d by dt yj, and d by dt zk will be the our velocity
Then
equation.
Velocity.
But where the xi both can be changed with time. Let's say, do you remember that I mean I is actually in this direction, so it can be opposite as well, plus and minus, right? With time, it can become forward and backward. Okay, with time. So what happened here? You see, like is it is taking x one time variable, another time I as a variable. So when x is variable at the time dx by dt, I is constant. Another time x is constant, di by dt. This is the formula of uv, right?
UV. Yes, sir.
yes,
duv.
sir.
If you remember, du comma v equal u d, actually v du plus u dv. Of course, divided by dt is always there. It was like that. So similarly, you see I. So x is the variable sometime. X is the variable first time, and I is the variable constant. And I you can write down in left or right, as it is a vector direction. Usually we write it in the right. Okay, so that is why they are putting it here. Another time x is constant, di by dt. So we need to check whether the value is changing or the direction is changing as well. Two things. So second term on the right side is 0, provided the XYZ reference frame is fixed. If it happens that this becomes 0, what does it mean? I have no impact. So meaning, sorry. এটা বলছে মনে হয় এইখানে নাকি second term on the right side is 0. Second term in the right side is 0, provided XYZ reference frame is fixed, meaning it is not moving. So it will be into K. Do you agree this? Okay, let us do this. Now do you agree? Three terms. All the three terms if we derive
Yes, sir.
along with T. And we consider that the direction is not changing, so this part becomes 0 for every equation. So dy dt, there was y dj by dt and k, z dk by dt. Those are become 0 actually. Okay. So then we can consider this is the thing. So can you tell me dx by dt and dy by dt, dz by dt, will it be wrong to say that actually this is the x direction velocity, this is the y direction velocity, and this is the component of velocity in the z direction? Will it be wrong?
No, sir.
Are also dx by dt means position s. This is also position, this is also position. So they are the position of totally v. So velocity, position of direction of x, y, z. Three, not position like the magnitude in x direction, magnitude in y direction, magnitude in z direction of that velocity is actually these terms. So they have written this vx by dt equal to vx and dy by dt as vy and dz by dt as. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is how it comes in. So when you have it, then the next thing we can do is Vx equals to x dot. Many a times we also write down in this manner x dot. Here can you see the x dot?
Yes, sir.
Then y dot and z dot. What does these dots mean? Do you remember? Like vector. So like sorry, dot notation on x, y, and z represents the first derivative of x. Meaning, I mean, if you derive it, isn't it a derivation? Because we have written Vx equals to dx by dt, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So instead, they said you can also write like x dot, y dot, z dot, to make the thing simple. Because vxi, rather x dot I, y dot I, and z dot I you can write.
So that's mean dot represent first time derivative.
First derivation. So the magnitude of the velocity is like this. As we have seen already that the total V is equal Vxi plus Vyj plus Vzk. So these three terms, do you remember x, y, z
Yes.
can
Yes, sir.
of this magnitude. So that is how we can find out the magnitude from it. Okay,
Okay, sir.
fine. So the direction only, if you want to find, what can you do? You have the velocity, total velocity. Here is the velocity divided by this magnitude. So remaining is what? Direction. So the relationship between scalar and vector, you can say like that. Like any vector is equal its scalar multiply by its direction, isn't it? So
Yes,
if
sir.
you divide the vector with your scalar, so you get the direction. That is the theme we are trying to say in this type of statements. In this type of statements, we want to say that. Okay? Any queries?
No, sir.
Okay. The similar way, actually, we get also acceleration on the ax, ay, az, and ax means v dot. What is it? So again meaning x double dot. Okay, ay means a vy dot and y double dot. Az equal z dot or
Hello, sir. Sir, we cannot hear you.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
So acceleration, how you can get the value, how you can get the direction. So I guess it is fine by now. You have some tips here if you want to see, because we had these equations as well. So how we will be helping out. Let us see. Let us see one. The problem, so that we can easily understand what is going on and what we are trying to portray and we are trying to present and we are trying to learn. Okay, are you ready?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so let us see. It said at any distance the horizontal position of the weather balloon in this figure is defined by x equals 80 feet is in seconds if the equation of the path is y equal x square by 10. Determine the magnitude and the direction of the velocity and acceleration when t equals to 2 seconds. What does it mean? What is the story? The balloon is moving, right? Weather balloon in instant the horizontal position of the weather balloon. Only horizontal position is given, x direction, 80 feet. This is the function of time. So horizontal position means this direction, horizontal. Okay, let's say for them from the diagram we can understand like this. So here is the 16 feet. How this 16 feet come in?
So t equal 2 seconds. So that's why 8 into 2.
Yes, t equals to 2 seconds and x equals to 80 feet. So first second, 1 t equals to 1, x equals to 8, t equals to 2, x equals to 16. So that is how it is. for 2 seconds, and they have also said that in the path of y, this is also x square by 10. What does it mean? If in t1 x equals to 8, then y equals to 8 square by 10. So what does it value at t1? T equals to 1?
Sir,
Sir,
6.4.
6.4.
6.4. And for t equals to 2?
25.6.
25.6. So you will get the path like this. For t equals to 1, 8 feet, and upward 6.4, and for 16 feet, for the second 2, y will
25.6.
25.6. So you get a curve, how it goes, x and y dimension. So what we need to find? We need to find out determine the magnitude and direction of velocity and acceleration. Okay, so here you see easily they have found this, the velocity component of x direction, because now there are two velocity, isn't it? From x point of view and y point of view. So there is two component of position change. So two component of velocity change will be there as well. So here you see easily they have found Vx equals to x dot equal d by dt into 8t equals to 8 feet. Any question in this equation?
No, sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
Dot means first derivative. Okay. To find the relationship between the velocity component, we will use the chain rule of calculus. When t equals to 2s, x equals to 8 into 2, 16 feet. And so Vy equal y dot equal d by dt x square by 10 equal 2x into dx by dt. Instead they have written x dot by 10. So x dot, we know that x dot is equal 2 into 16 is the x value and 8 is x dot value. Divided by 10 is 25.6 feet per second. Is the same as you have derived for when you are putting this value. Okay? Because manually we have found, right? X1 equals to 8, T1 equals to 8, T2 equals to x equals to 16. So for 2 seconds, manually, what will be the y? We have also calculated. And it matches here, you see. If for the first second, the velocity per second was 8 feet, isn't it? T equals to 1. What was the x for t equals to 1? 8.
8.
We also
8.
get 8. So meaning velocity x is correct, 8 feet per second. Okay. For y, we know this is the equation now, and we have derived. And x equals to how much? Yes. Any question? শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? Is there any question? Okay, I guess no. So, okay, one question may be why this x equals to 16?
Sir, because t is equal to 2, sir.
Yes, t equals to 2. So we cannot say that t equals to 1 because we need to find out at t equals to 2 seconds. At
স্যার
that time,
আমরা
what
তো
is it?
স্যার তাহলে
Yes.
তো স্যার উপরের ওই লাইনটা না করলেও তো হয় স্যার ওই যে
This one,
vx
this-
ইয়েস স্যার
The problem is you need to do because to find out the x coordinate of velocity x direction. Here, actually, the thing is that velocity is not increasing. It goes 8 feet first second, also 8 feet in second. That is why you are saying that, okay, sir, why you are finding this? It is a constant, right? That is why it seems like it will be always same because the velocity is the derivative. So when you derive, if there is no t, so with respect to time, it is not changing. But we need to know in the x direction what is the velocity because it has a x direction and y direction as well. What is the velocity in x direction? It will not only moving in y direction. It is also moving in the x direction as well. Do you understand? Meaning our question is we need to find out the magnitude of the velocity. So if the nature of the position change is in 2 dimension, so for your velocity you also need to go into dimension. You cannot say, okay, I can do it easily and I find out the vy direction, what is the velocity, but it will be also changing in x. What will you do with that? So that is why you also need to do this x direction. Okay, and then this is for y direction. As we know that we are x, so he did this calculation that what is the x for 2 seconds. This is not v, right? This is a position. This is not v. Okay. So when t equals to 2 seconds, the magnitude, what will be the magnitude? Can we write like equal vx I plus
vx square plus
vy
vy
j.
square is
So of course vx square plus vy square will be the value magnitude of v. So that is why this one is vx, this one is vy whole square plus root over will give you the magnitude of for 2 seconds. So magnitude is 26.8 feet per second. You see, in y direction this is different, x direction this is different, but resultant is something else. Okay, so the
sir
direction
here bx is মানে স্যার bx স্যার 16 হওয়ার কথা না স্যার
no, velocity is not 16, right? Your position is 16. What you are talking about is, you see, x equals to this feet. So if you say t equals to 1 8, t equals to 2 16, but this is the position, not velocity. Velocity means rate of change of position, isn't it? With respect to time, how much changes? This, the position changes with respect to time. I mean, in along with any time. This is the position. Velocity is derivative of the position, ds
Yes,
by
sir.
dt or dr by dt. Okay,
yes
so that is how the direction now is the tangent of the path, isn't it? Actually, when you get any position or point vx and vy you have, then the tangent will be the actually direction of velocity. isn't it? If you have the coordinate, so actually velocity, I mean the if you have two x and y, um, if you remember that force, you have calculated fx and let's say fy. So the components will give you the direction and the magnitude of the main force, resultant we say many a times. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
How we find that? With tan theta. Do you remember? Like this. If this is x, this is y. So tan theta, here is the theta, right? Because why it is tan theta is easy? Because tan theta is about the angle you will find along with for the known base and hypotenuse, right? And these are perpendicular to each other. And x and y and z are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so that is why we will be using this formula. Okay, so do you remember that tan theta equals to tan theta y divided by x? Y divided by x, meaning the perpendicular divided by base, right? Hypotenuse, sorry, not hypotenuse is the tangent itself. Lombo by bhumi. Lombo is what?
Sir, perpendicular, sir.
Perpendicular, sir.
Perpendicular by base. Okay, so tan theta. So we know here Vy, we also know Vx. So tan inverse Vy Vx will tell you what will be the theta. That will be the direction. This is the direction of velocity, which is 26 feet per second. Okay. Acceleration, similarly, we will derive it again. So in x direction, there is no acceleration. We understand it because every time velocity, I mean, it goes 8, 8, 8, 8, meaning no change of velocity. If there is velocity, there will be no acceleration as well. On the other side, if you derive it again, so dx by dt is becoming x dot, and this one become actually this one become uv, right? Again, these two, this one is okay. Let me divide this one. After this point, I am drawing after this point. I am writing here. Actually, it is d by dt to x, oh, x dot কেন বোঝাবো, পাশে লিখলাম x dot, divided by 10, তো 10 হচ্ছে ইয়েতে চলে আসবে না, equal 1 divided by 10 bracket close. This is the same meaning of this one. Okay, so 2 can also be coming out. 2 can also come out. So 2 by this can also work. Am I right? So here you can see x and x dot. These are two different terms. So this can be uv. Okay. So one time u will be fixed, another time v will be fixed. Okay. So equal to 2 by 10. I'm just keeping it as it is. Sorry. D. Let's say first time x is constant. X is constant. So D x dot hold on, d by dt x dot. This is the first term plus x dot multiply by d by dt x. Isn't it? Do you understand, everyone? Yeah, it is law of UV. We have already discussed. So what will happen here? X into x double dot x multiplied by x double dot. This is the first term. Because this is already dot, again derivative will be 2 dot x double dot plus, yeah, maybe a second bracket will be good. And here it will be x dot into x dot. Isn't it? X dot outside multiply x dot. Now you see, agree? Okay, now see whether this matches with this one or not. 2 x dot here, 2 just come here inside, 2 divided by 10. So 2 divided by 10 x dot this one x dot and 2 x double prime, 2 into x double dot divided by 10. I guess it is okay now. So as you know, this v dot ax v dot equals to what? Can anyone tell me?
X double dot, sir.
Yes, this one is equals to x double dot. We have seen it before. That v dot equals to x double dot. V itself is x dot. So v dot is equals to x double dot. If you remember, in the acceleration we have seen this. X equal v x dot equals to x double dot. So v equals to x dot easily. Okay, from here we know also. Okay, then a y equals to, we calculated like this. We calculated like this. We calculated like this. So as it is x dot and x dot, we know x dot equals to 8 previously calculated. X dot, right? X dot is equals to 8 feet. So 8 multiplied by 8, 8 square, 64, multiplied by 2 divided by 10. And here is x. We know x equals to 16, previously calculated. X equals to 16. Okay. And then we have 0 because x double dot is this one equals 0. So 0 0 divided by and multiply whatever you do, this part will become 0 and this part will be 64, 128 divided by 10, 12.8 feet per second square. Okay. So what will be happening to the acceleration magnitude of the velocity acceleration is 0 square plus 112.8 square. So meaning square and square root will be cancelled out because this is 0. So it will become 12.8 feet per second square. Same. Y is only acceleration. So that will be the magnitude. So the direction of A is shown in the with the tangent again. So y direction, this is the perpendicular, this is the base. So this one. A equals to 90 degree. Why? Because acceleration doesn't work in x direction. Only y direction there is an acceleration. So that is why it is along the y axis as well. That is why tangent is 90 degree. Okay. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So you can also use this equation they have given in a note. So sometime if you get time, you just check it. This is also interesting. The next one is also giving in 1. X is not mentioned. Okay. This is also easy one. Okay, let us do it and then we'll conclude. So for a short time, the path of the plane in figure this is the path of the plane, is described by y equals to 0.001 x square meter. If the plane is rising with a constant upward velocity of 10 meter per second, okay, it is given velocity, upward velocity, meaning Vy is given. Determine, or Vz is given, anyway. Determine the magnitude of the velocity, acceleration of the plane when it reaches an altitude of y equals to 100 meter. So in y direction, the velocity is 10 meter per second. So when it will reach 100 meter, that is the question. And there is a x direction as well. So y is actually changing along with x of 0.001 x square meter. Because actually it will go along with x and also y, isn't it? It will go on the runway x direction and will also go upward. That is the y direction of the velocity. So let us see the final, when y equals to 100 meter, then 100, then this one is 100, y equals 100, it is given. So what will be the x? 100 equals to 0.001 x square. So x is equals to attometer, because it will become positive and negative. Negative cannot be the position. So that is why x equals to 316.2 meter. Also due to the constant velocity. What it is written here? With a constant upward velocity. So constant velocity is 10 meter per second. So y equals to vyt, 100 meter equals to 10 meter per second into t equals to 10 seconds. I mean, how much time it will take? 10 seconds it will take. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, using To find the relationship between the velocity constants, we have y equals to this. This is given. So y dot, meaning instead of x, now we will be deriving with y, with time of y. So dy equals to y dot equals to d by dt 0.1 x square. So it will become 0.002 x into x dot, because as this is a square, so one will be derived, one will be coming out, and another one will be dx by dt. So anyway, d and x dot we have written, and x dot is equals to v. Okay, vx. So then 10 per second, because we started from vy, you remember, vy, and vy we have is given 10 meter per second. So 10 meter per second is equal 0.002 multiplied by x dot. So what is the x dot? We have calculated here.
X dot means first time derivative.
First time derivative. So that is the vx. And what about the x? Remember, we have found this x here.
Here
That is the value of x. So here we need x and x dot. We don't know x dot, that is why it is vx. And we know x. So we put the value x. And we put the value vy. Because vy we have found already. That is 10 meter per second given in the problem statement. Constant upward velocity of 10 meter per second. Okay, as it is upward, we have considered y-axis. So that is 0.002. Sorry, this one is become vx become 15.81 meter per second. So now we have vy. Vy, we have t, we have vx. Okay, so what will happen? Velocity magnitude vx square plus vy square. Vx is found here, vy is given. Squaring and additional and adding and then square root 18.7 meter per second is the velocity magnitude. Okay, have they asked to find the direction? What they have asked in the question? Determine the magnitude of velocity
And acceleration, sir.
acceleration of the plane. So we don't need the direction. So using the chain rule, the time derivative of equation 1 gives the relation between the acceleration components. So ay equals to vy dot, meaning we will derive again. So as previously, x dot x will come and it will be looking like this. Okay, where x equals to 36316 meter 0.2 and velocity will be 15.8 meter per second. So velocity y equals dot equals to ay equals to 0. When they have put these values, okay, in this equation, so 0 equal ay is 0 calculated previously. If you see here, velocity. Wait. Equation 1 is this one, right? Oh, yes. So if you derive it, then it will be a1. That is they have do it. AY equals to BY dot. So equal this. We know by calculation. I mean with differentiation, we can go here. Then putting this value, AY equals to 0, found previously, and what else you need? X dot is required. X dot you have also calculated. Vx, this one is X dot, and then plus Vx square plus x into ax. So Vx square means 15.81 square plus 316.2 equals to x, and ax equals to, we need to find out ax because without ay and ax we don't, ay is 0 and ax we need to find out. So ax from here only one unknown, we can easily find out, that is minus 0.791 is the value. So ay is this, ax is this, so the magnitude will be ax square plus ay square is equal root over square root will be this. Okay, so the result can be shown here. So check it again when you will have time at home.